Welcome. This is episode 2 of Jimmy Time. I am your host, German Garcia, and I'm here with
Chris, bitches, what's up?
Charlie's here.
And Danny.
Okay, today we got a couple of really interesting topics that we all wanted to talk about. The first one is embarrassing moments. I've had my share of embarrassing moments. Even though I don't get embarrassed easily, there's a couple in my life that I've had. I guess we'll start off with me. The most embarrassing moment that I can think of goes all the way back to kindergarten. I remember being in kindergarten and having this friend, and I remember that I liked her a lot. Hey. And but the thing was, there was always the other guy, and
Sorry, German.
the other guy was this redhead guy, and I remember he would hang out with her a lot, and I would get so jealous. I was super jealous. The first time I really understood what jealousy was, and so one time when we were out in recess. I remember I got sand and threw it in his eyes, and he started crying and he yelled and I got in trouble, and then it turned out that the girl that I liked ended up being her cousin. Yeah, as you can imagine, I threw sand in her cousin's eyes and she hated me probably after that. And I think that was the first embarrassing moment I ever had. Probably the most.
That was very touching, German. Well, okay, my most embarrassing moment goes pretty far back, but not as far back as yours. I don't remember having girl troubles that early. Well, maybe in preschool, but that's a different story. Anyway, my embarrassing moment, it's, have you guys ever pissed yourselves in front of, like, a class? Okay, well, I have. Well, not an entire class. It was like a couple of my friends. I was in 5th grade. 5th grade. I'm fucking like 10 years old. 10 years old, and I pissed myself. Anyway, it's like maybe like 5 or 10 minutes to the end of class. 5 or 10 minutes. And I've been holding it for like a half hour now. And I'm just waiting. And I was telling my friends, one of my friends, I told him, dude, I gotta pee. I gotta go to the restroom. He's like, ask the teacher. She's not gonna let me go. We're already gonna leave. So, I was just there like, oh God, have you got, like, when you're in elementary school and like when you're about to leave, how you either put your chairs into your desk or you put them on top of your desk. Well, we're already at that point. And I'm like, oh God, okay, we're almost out. I can do this. I kept on telling myself, I can do this. You're fine. And I'm right there with my legs crossed and everything. I'm like, oh God, no, it's gonna come. I kept on telling my friend, I can't do it. And so what happens? I pissed myself. And then there's like 3 people watching me. I'm like, oh God, you just see the water, like the wetness of your pants. Just, you see it. I was like, oh no. I was so embarrassed. I was like, oh God, I can't come to school tomorrow. And then after that, the bell rings. And then time to leave. So I'm trying to walk, because I guess either my brother or my mother was waiting for, or both of them were waiting for me on the outside. So I'm walking them. Luckily, it was a rainy day. So when they asked me, why are your pants wet? I said, oh, I fell in a puddle and I was playing with my friends.
That's what she said.
And yeah, so there was like 3 or 4 people that saw that. And I just remember I did not want to go to school the next day. I was, oh God, so embarrassed. And I was already 10 years old. Yeah, that was my embarrassing moment. Danny?
Oh man, mine doesn't top that. But okay, like German was saying earlier, we grew up together. Like we used to do all this stuff to make people laugh. Like, oh, who cares if we get embarrassed? Like some people. I heard some people like say like we're like the jackass generation. So, oh man,
we grew up with Jackass, and so that shaped our whole like I don't know way of thinking of even being embarrassed. I mean, it was
yeah,
Yeah, we have no shame. Like,
yeah.
no shame at all.
So
We've done some pretty crazy stuff.
Johnny Knoxville, we thank you.
yeah. Thank you for getting rid of our
No.
our morals.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, mine, because like I really don't get embarrassed quite often, but this happened last Thursday at school. All right. For those in the La Puente area, there's this place called Boca.
Boca del Rio.
Everyone knows what that is. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna go get some tacos after this. Okay.
Well, it's Sunday. It's closed.
Oh, okay, they're not open Sundays.
They're cheap religious morals.
Yeah. Okay. For those who've had Boca, if you eat it on a regular basis, you're fine. But if you stop for like a couple weeks and then you eat it again,
Not even just that. That shit has a C rating. Like,
oh yeah.
that's the only place I've ever ate that has a C rating. And like we would feed fucking carne asada to the pigeons out there, and even they would get diarrhea. So
Yeah.
like you have to have this like the stomach like
Yeah, you have to get used to it.
yeah.
Yeah, but see, the C rating, the lower the grade is, that's how you know the food is good.
Oh yeah.
You know, that's how you
Yeah.
know. Even it might kill me, but it's gonna taste good.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna die happy. Yeah.
I mean, if my mom's cooking had a rating, it would probably be like a D, an E. But that shit was delicious.
Yeah.
Anything crawling on it, I just was freshness, and all the grease on there was from like previous meals,
Yeah.
and that's how you know something is really good.
Yeah. Anyways, okay, so I haven't had Boca in like I want to say 3 to 4 months. So before class, I was hungry. I'm like, I want something good. I'm like, I'll go to Boca since it's like kind of near my house almost. So usually those who've gone to eat with me, I only eat like 2 tacos. That's it. But for some reason, I don't know what possessed me to buy a burrito because I was so hungry. So I ate it. I'm like, oh, damn, that was good with the big orange bang. So I go home to change, and my stomach starts to hurt. I'm like, oh, man, no, I shouldn't have ate that. Oh, wow. So I go to the restroom, do my business, and then, like, I try to get it all out before class. I'm like, okay, I think I'm fine. So I head to school. As I'm driving, I'm like, oh, my stomach, it starts to hurt. But I make it to class on time, but I still use the restroom before, and I make sure everything was out. Like, yeah. So I'm in class, like halfway in, and my stomach, like, I didn't have to go to the restroom, but it gave me gas. But like when you're in class and you're holding it in, like the insides of your stomach start to start to.
They start talking back to you.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh crap, and then like I sit next to this cute chick. Well, she's okay. Oh, average looking, but she's pretty cute. And I'm like, oh crap, man, it's the worst time. So I'm like I'm clenching with all my might, and then so I'm like my stomach, like it goes back into my body, and then like it starts making noises, and then the girl in front of me, she notices like a small little sound, and she turns around. I'm just kind of like, what the hell was that? Like. No, but and then I just ended up going to the restroom again, and then I was fine after that. But I'm just, like again that little incident, that little.
See,
Yeah.
that's when you just blame it on the guy next to you or behind you.
It was the professor.
I'll straight up tell her that it was her.
Like, dirty.
Just tell her, whoa.
What the hell?
Never
did you
heard
eat?
that out of a woman
Yeah,
before.
So, that was like when it comes to like cute chicks around me and like stuff like that happens, and then I'll get super embarrassed. But other than that, but no, I felt pretty embarrassed. I was ashamed. I cried a little bit. Nah, it's all good.
Okay, one of my most embarrassing moments happened in middle school, and this was probably 7th or 8th grade. I mean, again, it's middle school, so everything that happens to you is kind of traumatizing. But one of the things that happened to me was I went on a field trip it was a band field trip to San Diego, and the way we all went on a bus and we went to a hotel and we stayed there for a few nights. But on one of the bus rides, what happened was we were all getting off the bus, and on one, and I don't know if, I mean, maybe some guys can attest to this, but where you put your wallet, holes develop, like little tiny holes develop, like on the side, of the pocket. It's little tiny holes because you put your wallet in there, and so it makes little holes. But anyway, so I was getting off the bus, and then my friend at the time, not my friend anymore, I can say, yeah, he decided that as I was getting off the bus, that he decided to put his finger in the hole of my jeans, where the hole was from the wallet, and hold me back. And as I was walking off the bus, he decides to pull on rip. And like it was kind of like I was wearing those old school long johns, like the guys that live in the cabin. Like there was a big old flap of jean just hanging off
So
my
he grabbed
pants.
you from the glory hole, huh?
Well, no, it was a little bit higher, but it was the whole pants just ripped off, and so you could see my tidy whities. And so
If
everyone
you wore
on the
any
bus,
back then, I don't know.
well, yeah, well, I still do wear tidy whities, but that's a whole different story. But this is the thing. This was the beginning of the trip, and so we got off to eat at the mall, and I had this big old hole, and so I didn't know what to do. I was freaking out, so I decided I had a sweater at the time. I grabbed the sweater and I tied the sweater like a skirt around my waist. So the whole day I had to walk around with the sweater. But no one, people that saw it knew, like, oh, it's because you're covering your bare bottom. But it was a little bit embarrassing to know walking around that I had no way to change.
What did he say? What did he say when he did that?
He didn't say it. I don't remember exactly what he said or anything. He just did it. Like he just ripped off my pants.
Were you upset? Were you
It was
sad? Were you surprised? Were you?
No, I was trauma. I was in shock. I was in shock that I had to walk around with my underwear showing. It was,
And you didn't tell anyone?
well, they saw it. People saw.
No, like the teacher or anything.
No.
They didn't care.
Well, it's middle school. You don't tattle. You don't tell people. Right? These things just happen to you, and you have to suck it up, kind of thing. Yeah. So, but yeah, that was one of the most traumatizing, embarrassing moments I've ever. Yeah. So now I try not to wear pants that have little holes.
I think something like that happened to Danny too.
Oh yeah. Go ahead and share.
All right,
yeah, it's fine. It's
yeah.
fine. It's cool.
All right. No, I remember you telling me that one time. I guess sometimes you'll get holes in your pants,
Mm-hmm.
but from there's usually like a button and behind jeans.
yeah.
And that sometimes like when you put stuff in your jeans or you put your hands in your pockets, that it'll make little holes where those buttons are.
Yeah.
And you said that that's what you thought it was because you asked Randy, one of our friends, if your pants, if they were fine, and he said like, oh yeah, there's a hole in them.
Yeah.
And but that's all that he had said. And then it turns out that the hole was a lot bigger than than he had
Imagined.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's not imagined, but the like what
I
he
knew. Yeah.
what he made you believe.
Okay. Now I'm remembering.
Yeah. Well, you elaborate on.
Yeah.
on what
Okay.
happened.
Now I was like, okay, but no, okay. Yeah. I think it was after work because we used to work together. I had my jeans on and I went to work, and then like I'm trying to remember. Where did I go? Do you remember what I said?
I remember you just asked him. I think he told you like, hey,
Yeah.
dude, there's a hole in your pants, and you're like, yeah.
Okay, yeah, it was after work. We were going either to Michael's, the art supply store, or Food for Less. So and Randy, he notices that there's a hole on my butt. But I tell her I'm like, oh, well, how big is it? He's like, oh, you can't tell. Like, oh, it's nothing big.
It wasn't just your anus.
Oh, I don't know. No, I said that. No, and I was like, oh, okay. I didn't think nothing of it. I was like, oh, okay, it's fine, dude. I don't care. That's what the ladies want to see. No, but we go to two different stores, and we get back to his house, my cousin's house, and then I change into my shorts. But as I look at the jeans, it was probably 5 to 6 inches, and like it was huge.
It was like this gaping
Yeah.
hole.
Yeah, and I was kind of like, damn it, Randy. I went to my little nephew's school to take him lunch, and I had this giant hole in my pants, I remember that whole day I was mad at Randy. I was like, Randy, you're a punk. So if you're listening, Randy, in Nebraska, yeah. that's
Dude,
it.
for one of my interviews for when I was applying for a job, I had a hole in in the front of my pants,
Oh no.
and so all I did was just I covered up with my tie, like I was like, hopefully my tie covers it up, and I don't think anyone noticed,
Yeah.
but that's
Yeah.
what I did.
Yeah. So every time Charlie wears jeans now, I'm gonna look for little holes so I can put my finger in there and rip it more.
Well, usually it's a crotch hole that I have, so I don't know if you want to do that.
Oh no.
Okay. So that concludes our personal embarrassing stories. We could go ahead and go to
You
the
could
next.
send us your guys's. Our ears are open. You know, if you're comfortable with telling us your guys's most embarrassing moment, and we'll bring it up.
Okay.
And if you want, we won't say any names. We'll just say the experience, and that's all.
Our next question has to do with relationships, dating, marriage, that sort of thing. And the question is, what do you think is an appropriate age difference between couples?
I think I'm gonna start off. I think it depends on an intellectual level. I think more than anything. If two people are intellectually on the same level, or not even just intellectually, just in terms of being naive, if one's a lot more naive than the other, then I think it might get frustrating.
So it's not to interrupt, but it's age difference, not necessarily about your intellectuality or.
Well, I think intelligence is a factor in age difference.
Well, sometimes it is, but I mean, sometimes people are just stupid.
Honestly,
So it would have to. This is age. No, I'm not trying to argue with you. I'm just saying. Oh,
That escalated quickly.
I think we both have a point, though. We have to be specific in terms of, we're not talking about maturity level. We're talking about when does the age difference between two people look bad, regardless of their maturity level.
I just in terms of like appearance. I don't know. Maybe it's like 30 years old or something like that. 30 years older.
Okay.
Like something like Hugh Hefner. I mean, I think. I mean, I admire the guy, but it does look. It seems a little bit. It's more show than anything.
So you're saying past 30. So 25
Yeah.
would be a
Yeah.
good age difference.
It would be pushing it, but 30, I think is too a little. It's too
Okay.
much.
Anyone else have a higher or lower
wait,
number?
between what age was that? It was.
Well, he
25
said
and what?
30. So we're assuming if a girl or a
18?
guy is 20,
Oh, okay.
then the
so like
other.
a 10-year difference.
Well, no, 30. He says 30 age difference. 30.
30
So-
years?
So a 20-year-old and a 50-year-old.
Oh, whoa. That's acceptable to you?
30 is too much.
Well, you said 30.
Yeah. I think anything under 30, 29, 28, 27 is pushing it, but 30 is I think would be my limit.
I think we're
it's
lost our math
That's
here.
a little, it's getting kind of like
Yeah.
intertwined and all crazy. So you're
Yeah.
saying 30 is a 30-year age difference is fine.
Yeah. If she was 18,
If she was 18 and he was how old?
48. That's a third.
48.
That's what we're getting from how. Yeah, from what you're saying.
No.
So then what is an acceptable age difference?
I haven't put much thought into it. I mean,
Okay, does anyone else have
Okay, I'll go in. This is just me personally. I wouldn't date someone that's 3 years older or 3 years younger than me. Because I'm 22.
So
So,
the 3-year
yeah,
is
3
basically
years
3
for me. Yeah.
forward and backward.
Yeah. So like I'm fine dating a 25-year-old,
Uh-huh.
and I'm fine dating a 19-year-old. Is it the 3-year?
Okay.
That's just my opinion.
Okay, but the both ages are the same. So it's 3 plus and 3 minus. Okay.
For you, because you're 22 in that sense. For me, I would say maybe. Well, I'm 21. Maybe like a 5-year difference as far as going up. Like I'm 21, a 26-year-old would be fine. And
Okay.
as far as going back, I would say probably 19 or like 19 would be the youngest for me, a 21-year-old.
So it's the same for you. It's equal both ways.
No, because I said like 5-year difference going up.
But what's going down?
2 years.
Oh, so only
I'm 20 because I'm 21,
Okay.
so it'll go down to 19. That'd be the youngest,
Okay.
and then like.
Well, so
the
would that
oldest-
change the older you get?
Oh yeah, it would. It would change, yeah, because right now I said I'm 21,
Okay.
and so it'd be 2 years backward to 19, and then when I get higher in my 20s, it'd probably be, let's say I'm 25, maybe a 22-year-old or a 23-year-old.
Okay. Does the upper number
The
change?
upper one, I'd say, yeah, because you're getting older and you're getting closer to their. This is where the intellectuality plays in when you get older, because then you have to be at the same maturity or close to, for when because as you get older, you mature a lot more.
Okay.
So that's when it plays in. So it all depends on like how old I am. Like I'll say, like I said, when I was 25, I'd probably give a 10-year going up, 10
Okay.
years going up. Yeah.
For me personally, I mean, as long as she's 18, I think it's fine.
So
but-
so even when you're maybe 60.
Well, it just depends. Like, if it's a sexual thing, I mean, as long as she's 18, I mean.
Well, no, we're just saying it's a age.
And,
It's the age difference. It's just the number.
What about the age difference?
If it's a big deal for you or not. For a lot of
I don't
people,
think
it's a big deal.
I don't think it's a big deal.
Okay.
Right. I mean, unless she's too old. I mean, I wouldn't go out with like a 60-year-old.
But you would be going out with an 18-year-old when you're 60.
Yeah, if it's a sexual thing, I mean, I think so.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions or comments about that?
That's kind of gross. That's what I'm going to say. You're 60 years old. You're going to be going out with an 18-year-old. She either just graduated from high school or she's still in high school, but she's 18.
Or
That's pretty
Nah.
gross, but that's my opinion.
But she knows what she's doing. I mean, she knows what the hell's going on.
Okay,
I'm not saying she's gonna.
yeah.
She's gonna be completely,
Okay.
you know.
Well, let me ask you this: if, say, when you have your children and your daughter is 18, will you be fine with her dating a 60-year-old? As a dad, would you be fine with that?
For her dating a 60-year-old,
Yeah.
I think I'd be okay with it.
What?
You know what?
And like no, and he wasn't rich or anything, so don't think you're gonna get some money, or she is. I don't know. I don't know.
She knows what she's doing.
Oh man.
I'm sorry, but an 18-year-old is still very naive.
Hmm.
They're adults, but I mean they don't really know everything. Not that I know everything. I'm only 21. I cannot tell you I know a lot yet. But I mean, when you're 18, you're still pretty naive.
But what's the big deal if they're going out? If she's 16 and she's 18, and they're going out together, what's the big deal? Well, I mean, what's the problem?
I mean, I don't have a revolt like, oh my gosh, like Chris. I know Chris had a little. He had a
It's because I got the image in my head. I was like,
But
"That's
I
pretty
mean,
gross."
but I wouldn't. I would also. But I would say that there would be a mismatch of interest of things to talk about. Of,
Right.
So I think it wouldn't really work out because of an age difference. I wouldn't say, oh, don't like forbid it. I wouldn't forbid it, but I would say that it would less likely work out.
I'm saying if they enjoy each other's company, then
Okay.
I think it's fine. I mean, if you guys, really enjoy each other's company and you guys fulfill each other's needs, then I think it's okay. I mean, personally, I would not date anyone that's 60 years old. But if that's...
But why is that though? Why would you date someone much younger, but you wouldn't date someone much older?
Because physically, I don't like...
But we're not. But it's not just purely physical. You're in a relationship. Like this is the person that you call your significant.
But that's the
other.
thing. Physically, I wouldn't be attracted to them.
Okay. But what if everything else was there, like emotionally and interests and that sort of thing?
Then maybe I
Okay.
would, maybe. But I mean, I haven't found anyone like that. So
Well, have you been looking for somebody like that? Is that
I haven't. And That's
Okay.
the thing. That's probably a
you
big
don't
reason
go
why.
hang out
But
at Sunday night bingo?
I'm saying like it could happen. I mean, I'm saying it doesn't happen. I'm saying it's not likely, but I'm saying it happened.
Okay.
It could happen.
Okay. So the other question I have is, I know you guys said personally, but does that go for everyone else? Like what you feel personally, would you make that like a universal age difference to everyone else?
As in, do
Like
I
it-
think that's what everyone else thinks? Or is that just how I view everyone else? That's how they should be.
Yes, the second one.
No, 'cause, I mean, I have no right to tell you what you should do and what you
Okay.
shouldn't do. So whatever you do is, it's okay. If you're happy, you're happy. I'm not gonna tell you, oh God, you should not be doing that. I'd say I wouldn't, but I wouldn't say, oh, you shouldn't. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I'm with Chris on that one, but unless it's something, let's say my Charlie or one of you guys, it's like if it's illegal, like if everyone's like Chris, someone's with. Go ahead, Charlie. I'm sorry.
Well, no, I mean, okay. It aside from the legality of it, we're not saying dip down 10 years. I'm saying
Yeah.
because again, you should imagine yourself when you're 30. Would you date someone 10 years younger? Again, I know we're all young, and we have there's an age gap, like a floor that you can't pass legally.
Yeah.
I understand. Some last thoughts.
It's just this topic caught me off guard.
Okay, we all knew the topics ahead of time.
No, I know. I just I didn't think
You didn't think about. Yeah, I
Yeah,
understand.
I didn't put a lot.
And
of
it wasn't
thought
meant to
into
be personal. I wasn't meant to be like, oh, who would you date? I was just saying in general, like, because a lot of people, for example, I will give you an example. I was speaking to a friend not that long ago. We have lunch together. And she was telling me that Taylor Swift, who's 22, you all know Taylor Swift, she's dating an 18-year-old. And she thought it was, oh my gosh, like the end of the world. That this young, hot commodity girl, I don't know, plays music.
How you doing?
Yeah, there we go. That she's going out with a kid that's still in high school, and so she found that kind of a little uneasy. She was kind of like, oh, like she's rocking the cradle kind of thing. But it's only like a 4-year age difference, right? So that's what I'm saying. What impression do you have of other people dating?
Personally, I think maybe someone's being used. I mean, that's my first assumption,
Okay.
right? You're the older person seems like they're using the younger person. I don't know if there's like at least a 10-year age difference, then like
So past 10 years, you think that's something's fishy?
yeah, yeah. It does seem a little bit strange, to say the least. It seems a little strange. 10 years.
A little suspicious.
Yeah.
Okay.
10 years. From what age though?
Any age, I guess.
Any age? Well, for me, it's the older you get, the wider range you would have between the ages, as far as getting older, not to the younger.
Well, yeah, because like if someone's 30 and then their spouse is 40, then I don't see that big of a deal.
Yeah, that's like one of my aunts or uncles.
Yeah.
Like, there's like a 10-year gap.
So it's weird. Yeah, it's this weird thing where like the younger it is, the gap is a lot more narrow, and then the
Okay.
older it gets, it widens.
Okay, so it's exponential. Okay, the other question is, does gender matter in age difference?
I think
Because I mean, I only bring it up because you all know the whole thing about the cougar and the MILF, and like it's like a new trendy type thing.
Yeah, I think if the older one is a female,
Mhm.
I think I'm more politically correct. Usually, it's more than not politically, more socially correct. It's usually more socially correct.
Okay.
Than if the guy is a lot older. I think it's a little more frowned upon.
Do we? What do we think?
No, I have no comment. I'm pretty much on with you guys.
Okay. For me, I guess, it's just socially like a taboo if the female is younger. That's just how everyone gets. It's just a social taboo. But for myself, I would say no. I would say it's fine. But it doesn't matter because either way, it's still an age difference. No matter if you are male or female,
Right.
it'll still be the same.
Right.
So that doesn't matter to me as far as gender.
Okay. So let's go next to the best pranks of all time.
Best pranks of all time.
All right, I guess I'll start this one off. Yeah, me, German, all of us have done a bunch of pranks, real good ones. But I think I really haven't done. Well, okay, I've done a lot at one of my jobs recently, but
Well, me and you, we've done our share of pranks,
a lot.
right? Me and Danny, we dove ourselves like prank kings, I think.
Yeah.
We grew up, like we were saying, we grew up with Jackass, and so that was like our inspiration, and
Yeah.
even in pranks, like I remember we would tip porta potties over while people were still in them. I remember one time we were asleep. I think you were asleep, and then I put crazy glue on your face while you were asleep,
Oh yeah.
and then you got me back by like putting hot sauce up my nose with a straw.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like or we would tase each other.
Oh yes, those were fun years.
Yeah, with a fully loaded taser.
You got me right in the back, and then
A bunch of
soon
saliva would just
ooze out.
of his mouth.
And I didn't get. I was like, oh dude, that was a good one.
Yeah, like we respected each
Yeah.
other's pranks,
Yeah.
and or like I remember one time you had like this big old gash on your foot,
Oh yeah.
and then I stuck a tub of.
Well, I was
of-
sleeping though. I was
yeah,
sleeping.
while he was asleep, he had this cast over his foot, and there was a cut, and then I stuck a tub of gel in it. I stuck his foot in a tub of gel, and then it was like it scalded the the cut because there was alcohol on it. Yeah, and these are just things we would just do just because. One time I was asleep, Danny threw a dictionary on my morning wood. And then I was like, damn, that was good.
Yeah.
Like we have a,
No,
like,
we have a
yeah, we
crap
have a
load.
lot.
Maybe we'll have a part 2 to this.
Sadly, I don't have much.
Oh.
I can only say one. I was probably in, it was in middle school, maybe 6th or 7th grade. I can't say, but I had a friend of mine whose family and him, they were very religious. So, and they believed in this, no sex before marriage. And so, we're in middle school, 11, 12, 13 years old, around that age. So, of course, we're little kids. Your parents do your laundry, all that stuff. I had a condom on me. I can't remember why or what reason, but I had one. So I was at his house. We were hanging out, and his mom was doing laundry at the time. So she was about to get his. So what do? I get the condom and I put it in one of his pants pockets. so she's she just takes the whatever the what do they call it again where you put your dirty clothes in
The hamper.
a hamper, yes, thank you. So she takes the hamper, and it's probably been 5 minutes goes by, and then I'm not gonna say any names, but then you just hear her scream the name what is this, oh God, what has my son been doing? I was oh God, I was laughing, so I was trying to keep the straight face so bad, and my friend, he gets all what the hell? What's going on? She runs in the room what is holding the condom in her hand? What is this dirty stuff you bring into my house? What is this? And my friend's just shitting bricks. He's like, I don't know. What do you mean? What is that? Acting stupid, not knowing what it is. But yeah, and oh God, I just remember she was screaming her head off. And she kicked me out of the house. She kicked me out of the house. And this is before anyone knew that I had done it. She was so mad that she told me to leave. Oh, God. The next day we go to school. And so I asked my friend, I'm like, dude, what happened yesterday? Oh, God, man. Oh, God.
She took out the chancla.
No, she did.
Oh,
she hit him with the chancla. She took him to church that night.
Oh.
She took him to church that night, I swear. She took him to
Nice.
church. They had this whole, oh my God. And
Nice.
so I finally, of course, he wasn't allowed to have any friends over after a long time. But that's what his mom told him. I went over and explained it because I felt bad. I'm
Aw.
I'm like,
Chris has a heart.
yeah, I couldn't just leave it. So then I went and explained it. I was scared shitless though. I was like, oh God, she hit her son with the chancla.
Yeah.
And that hurts like hell. So I just had to say it wasn't his. I put it in there for him. What? long story short, she just didn't allow me to come over the house anymore at all.
And then she hit Chris with a chancla too.
Yes, that did happen. And I swear to God, it was so funny. It was so funny. But I was scared shitless when I went over the next day.
Nice. I got a couple of, if you guys don't mind me sharing, like two. All right. First one has to do with my cousin Randy. For those who don't know, I'm majoring in psychology, so I love every little moment I get. I like to play like little psychological tricks on people. And then so my cousin Randy, every time he would call me, I would always say, "What's up?" Excuse the language. "What's up, Dick?" Or like every time I was with them and someone called him, as soon as he says hello, I would always say, "What's up, Dick?" So I kept doing that for months and months. But for those who've taken like Psych 101, I was conditioning him. You know, shout out to Ivan Pavlov. Yeah. No, anyways,
Him and his dogs.
him and his dogs, yeah. So one time because he used to play congas for his worship, for his church. So one day his worship band leader called him, and like right before he said like hello, I said, "What's up, Dick?" And then so as soon as Randy answered the phone, he told his worship leader, "What's up, Dick?" And then Randy's like, he made like the most craziest like confused face, and I was just laughing. We're driving, I was just laughing, trying not to crash. And then all I can hear is this band leader like, what did you say? What? Like, what? Randy. And I was like, oh, dude, that was too funny. Yeah. Anyway, so second one, I'll keep it short. Back in high school, I used to drive my mom's Yukon, big black scary truck. You know, everyone knows what's up. My friend had like a 2000 candle power like spotlight. I don't know how do you rate spotlights, like lumens? Isn't it lumens? I don't know. It had like 2000 lumens.
It's just those are the cops.
Yeah, okay.
And that's it.
Cops. Okay, yeah, pretty much. So and then we borrowed Charlie's megaphone. So we would drive around and then pretend to pull over our friends. So one time we had a friend that called us. Like he was our friend, but he didn't hang out with us too much. So he called to see if we were hanging out at my friend's house. And we're like, "Oh no, but well, yeah, go ahead and swing by." So we all jumped in my mom's Yukon. We parked down the street, and as soon as we saw him coming, because this was nighttime, we put the spotlight right on his rear view, and with the megaphone, we're like, "Pull over!" So we pulled him over. He pulled over, and he's like scared, like out of his mind. We got him to turn off the car and throw the keys out the window. Like, turn off the car, throw it out the window. Okay, put your hands out so we see. And then we made him get out of his car, and he's facing his back is towards us, so he has no clue who it was. And then we're just laughing, and we're like, "All right, now do jumping jacks, faggot." And then he turns around like, "Oh, damn assholes." But yeah, that was a good one. But I don't recommend that because that's a felony.
That is a
for
felony.
Impersonating a cop.
I would know.
Yes,
Been arrested a couple of times.
Me and two of my friends learned that the hard way, but they let us go. But it's all good.
Yeah, I'm usually at the receiving end of these pranks. Something similar did happen to me, and it involves Herman, but I don't remember if he knows. But I had some random. I was nighttime. I was at my house, and I had someone randomly call my phone, and usually I don't pick up random numbers. But for some reason this night I'm kind of like, I should answer it. Like maybe it's, I don't know, who knows. So I answer it, and it's a guy with like a kind of a authoritative voice saying like, "Hello, is this Carlos Toscano?" And I'm like, "Yes." And then he's like, "We have your friend Herman Garcia in here at the Walnut PD station." And then they went ahead and told me like, that he was under arrest, and they were keeping him, and they needed something to go and bail him out, and they were telling me all these things, and I'm like, what did he do now? In my mind, I was thinking like the worst, like, oh my gosh. But then it sounded suspicious. Kind of like, wait, there's no. For a second, I was like, who? Like, is this even real? Like, I don't think there's even a Walnut PD. But I was going along with the thing, like it could be serious. Like I should take this seriously. And so then I keep on talking, and then he's just telling me everything that's going on, that I should go down there, and if I don't, then he's gonna stay there for the rest of the night and all this. And I'm getting dressed as I'm like hearing this, and I'm like getting ready to get in my car, and then it's like. And then as soon as I tell him, oh yeah, I'm on my way, he's like, oh, and bring some donuts. And I'm like, bring some donuts. And then they hung up, and I'm like, and the whole time I was just standing with the phone, like thinking like, wait, what just happened? And it took me a while to realize that I was just pranked. So it was one of those things like, this has never happened to me before. And ever since then, I kind of don't answer the private calls.
You never knew who it was though, right?
No.
I got a confession, Charlie.
Okay.
It was me and my friends.
No, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
All right.
I knew it was someone that knew me and Herman.
Yeah, because we were crank calling, and we're like, I know this guy Charlie. He's cool. To play a trick on him.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to my BDB homies. Yeah, that was.
Whose voice was it?
My friend Phobies.
Okay.
Yeah, he
sounds like a cop.
Like a cop. So
Okay.
at night we're at my friend Zeke's house, just chilling in the living room. We're just prank calling people. And we're like, let's get Charlie. So
yeah,
that was me.
That
was us.
Yeah.
For me, there's two pranks that come to mind. The first one is the first prank I ever did, and again, it was in kindergarten.
Nice.
I remember there was this a friend I had. His name was Jason. If he's listening, dude, I'm sorry. I apologize. I still feel bad even now, all the way back in kindergarten, because I know he got suspended for it.
Oh.
And he had this thing where every time he would write his name, he would write this big ass fucking J all the time in his name. And I remember one day the whole day I just practiced that stupid J of his. And then I'm like, oh, I think I'm really good. I think I'm really good at forging his name. And so what happened was, I remember we had a pile of I don't know, it was some art we were doing. And and I was a teacher's assistant. I was like, I was always like, outgoing and had this funny personality. And so I was the assistant. And what I did was, on every single paper in the class, I wrote in big ass letters, Jason, 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 on every single paper. And then I remember at the end of the day, every paper had Jason on it, and the teacher pulled out all of them, and she started yelling at him. She's like, Jason, what the hell is wrong? I remember she said that.
She hit him?
She was like,
Bam.
why did you do this? Why? What's wrong with you? Why did you put your name on every single paper? He's like, no, it wasn't me. And he was crying, and I was like, crap, he's crying. And she's like, I know it was you. You had that stupid J. You have that big ass stupid J. I remember she told him, because I remember a couple of times, like, I don't know, he was like kind of like a little screw up, so he'd always get kind of in trouble. And so I knew he was like the perfect target, like, oh, this will work. And so she started yelling at him. He started crying, and he got suspended in kindergarten.
Because the teacher was like, oh, that idiot. I knew it was him. That stupid little kid.
I guess the other time, because he was kind of a screw up, I guess the other times she thought he was doing it on purpose.
Oh, okay.
Right? And this was her, like, evidence of that. Yeah. And then another time was recently. It was, I was in college, and then I had this teacher that he went to UCLA, and he told me, once you get into college, just call me, and I'll help you out, and so you could transfer out of community college, because I went to Citrus. And then I did. I followed up on it, and now he's a doctor. Well, he got his doctorates, and so and when I went to Baldwin Park High School for a while, and he was a history teacher. His name was Mr. Herrera, right? But now he's Dr. Herrera when I called. And then so I call, I'm like, oh, I called the school, and I'm like, oh, can I talk to Mr. Herrera? And then, like, yeah, he's Dr. Herrera now, they told me. Like, oh, I'm like, oh, perfect, he's Dr. Herrera, that's cool. And they're like, let me transfer you to his classroom. And then so I'm there, and then the phone is just ringing and ringing, and he finally answers, and he's like, Dr. Herrera's office. And then the first thing that comes out of my mouth, I didn't even think about it. It just came out. I'm like, hello, doctor. I'm ready for my physical. And then he's like, "Who is this? How'd you get this number?" And then he hangs up. That's all I said, like, "Doctor," and he hangs up. Right, like that's when I found out I'm more a comedian than anything. And then I try calling back, and then the call will not go through. It will not go through. And then I call back the office. I'm like, "Oh, I was just talking to Mr. Herrera," and they're like, "You're pulling prank calls on our teachers?" And then I'm like, no. I was trying to be funny. I really wanted to talk to him, and they did not let me talk to him. So till this day, I can probably not even call the school, right? And that was probably like a year ago that I did that.
Wait, this is Baldwin Park?
Baldwin Park.
You can't
High
just
School.
walk over there and talk?
Well, yeah, I mean, probably, but
They won't let him in the gates. They already have the picture printed
see him
out,
coming and they
posted in
close the
every
gates.
office at the school.
Padlock.
Like, do not let this man in. He may try to
Yeah.
rape you.
He's not even allowed in my old high school.
I have one last one, and this involves it was in college, and these are kind of the worst ones because you're an adult, and when it happens to you, it's kind of like whatever. But I actually started. I learned how to ride a bike in college, and so I actually bought a bicycle. I know it should have been in my embarrassing story, but I bought a bicycle my sophomore year of college, and because the thing is that our campus is really sprawled out. It's in Azusa, so it's really flat. So there's different campuses, and to get to class, you need to get there fast. So I got a bicycle. I kind of learned like in like a few days, and I got it. So then I had this bike for my sophomore year, junior, up to my senior year, and my senior year I lived on campus, and I was roommates with two guys, and one of them was an RA, and so we like the whole year it was just full of like, oh, let's have fun and this and that. So one of the times they decided they're gonna have fun with me, and what I usually did is I didn't lock my bicycle. I just left it on campus because I was really trusting of everyone. So I would leave my bike just anywhere without putting out a bike lock on it. So I would leave it, park it in front of our modular, it was kind of like a little tiny like mobile home. And so I would always park it there, and they would get kind of annoyed. They're like, he doesn't even like lock it, and he doesn't even like take things to take care of it. So they decided while I was, I guess, taking a shower or something. I don't remember. I was preoccupied. I don't know how. I don't even remember when they did it. They got my bike and they put it on top of the roof of the modular. And so then, when it was time for me to go, they waited for me to like, oh, let's see how he reacts. So I went out there and I was like, I didn't see my bike out there, and I looked around. I'm like, like my bike's not around here. And then I didn't want to think. The first thing I thought, oh, I got it stolen finally after these 3 years of having it. And so then, looking around, and they're just laughing at me like, why are you guys laughing? Like, my bicycle is missing. Like, you should help me look for it. And so then I don't know why they kept laughing, and they wouldn't tell me. So it wasn't until I walk across the quad and I look up, and there it is, just all shiny on top of modular, sitting like someone's gonna ride it. Just and then
Sun beaming down and everything.
Yeah, and my heart just kind of like like a relief, because I honestly had thought like, finally someone stole it. It's done.
Finally.
It
I
was
was waiting
a
for that.
Walmart bike. It wasn't even like a big, but it was just kind of like it was just my bicycle. So yeah, they got me good, and I kind of learned to take care of my bike and not leave.
And then he killed him.
Yes, and now they're no longer with us. Yeah, but no, they're still around. They're fun guys, but yeah, that was again. I'm always at the receiving end of these pranks. So
I just want to say something real quick. Like me, like us, I would say us are in this room. We're like the kings of prank. So we accept any challenges out there. I just want to throw that out there. So,
But
you've been warned.
but-
Anything goes.
yeah.
Anything
But
goes.
that's the thing. We will see it to the bitter
Yeah,
end.
so,
to the bitter end.
Our door is open. If anyone wants to challenge us, bring it.
If you put it down and it's good enough,
Oh yeah.
we will do it.
Oh yeah.
But if it's good, we will respect you.
Yeah. We won't get all
respect you.
butthurt or like, oh man, that's no. We will shake your hand and tell you good job. Like that. Yeah. We know when we've been gotten.
Yeah, but we've never been gotten.
Yeah. In
we've
22
never
years, we've never been
have.
gotten.
Right. We've and we've done our share on each other.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like
Oh, yeah.
I've eaten dog shit, right, over a prank, and
Yeah.
Like I've been hospitalized over a
Oh.
prank.
Yes, yes.
Right. We have no limits.
Yeah. And no shame.
Shaving cream on your face coming out of someone's ass. Yeah.
Yes. I just want to, get that challenge out there.
Well, I think that's it. We went a little overboard tonight. We went past the half an hour mark. Hopefully you guys enjoy this.
Yeah.
We enjoy reminiscing about, especially this topic in particular, because this is something we
Yeah.
really enjoy.
Well, I think it's safe to say that we can have a part 2 to this because there's so many pranks that we didn't mention.
Yeah, we
there's
have
so many.
We have probably from
Like,
from like
5th
I can
grade.
remember- yeah,
I don't know, younger.
Yeah. To all the way to now,
Yeah.
right? Like there's so many pranks I didn't even do, like in 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade.
Yeah, even as
All-
adults. man.
like, and it just gets better and better
Oh,
and
yeah.
better. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. We
Yes.
hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Send us also some of your pranks that you guys have done. We'll gladly talk about them on the show. And thank you for listening. All right.
All right, thank you guys. And also go ahead and go onto your Facebook, type in the Jimmy Time Podcast, and like it if you like it. Also, we have a YouTube channel. Go ahead and leave likes, comments. We like to read all that stuff.
Tell us anything. We're not afraid to read criticism.
Yeah.
It helps. Please.
Yeah. Also, it's on iTunes. So those who don't have like 30 minutes sitting in front of your computer, you can download it as you go to the gym, as you're doing laundry. Listen to us. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Yep, thank you, and hopefully we become best of friends. And that is it for last installment of this week's Jimmy Time.
No, Kelly Clarkson!